Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second round. Sorry, it's the third round, but it's the second video of ASN. We're here in Spa, Belgium, and here for qualifying with the Haas car at the moment. And last time out, pretty good race. If you haven't seen that, do go and check it out. There'll be a link in the top right corner now of your screen, but we're coming out for qualifying now. Again, I haven't done any practice, but the radar said for this qualifying session there would be rain at the end. Now you can see here on my out lap, I'm coming through Les Combes and there's rain already. So we're about to start our lap now, and I knew this lap was going to be crucial because we have to get in a good lap because the rain's only going to get worse and it's not going to be a good track to improve your time on. So we're going to come through up Radion and Eau Rouge now as the racing point kindly gets out of the way, and this is our best lap and our only lap of the session because of the weather circumstances. So I'll talk you through this. Coming through the back straight, the Kemmel straight, and the Ferrari ahead is giving us a nice tow. So getting 2 or 3 tenths from that. Not as close as I'd like it, but it's not getting in our way as we go through Les Combes. Now this is very difficult on traction, especially more difficult when it's slightly wet conditions. So coming into it, I like to go into second gear here to get a bit of extra rotation, back up into third, and we're going to use this fourth gear through No Name corner. Coming down into Pouon, then you want to really throw the car and get on that curb on the right, throw it in sixth gear and on the power as soon as possible. Careful not to track extend. And now we're coming through the final sector. We're getting a bit closer to the Ferrari, but I think it should be just close enough actually to get slipstream down the back straight towards the bus stop chicane. And coming through this curve here, this right-hander, flat out, even in these conditions, and we're going to get a very nice slipstream from the Ferrari down into the bus stop chicane. So all of this is flat, even in these tricky conditions it's still flat. And we've run out of VRS actually, so it's not been the best of management of VRS, but we get our braking point for the bus stop spot on. We're going to come across the line, we're going to get another little slipstream, and we're going to stay as close to the wall as we can, and we go P2, 5 tenths off P1. Remember, this is realistic performance. This is not my second lap. I tried to go for another one, but you can see we haven't even got through the first sector split yet, or we just got through it, and we're 1.9 down. So we're going to come back to the garage, and I think we're going to retire. Everyone else retired. You can't improve on this track anymore. It's just getting wetter and wetter. So that means we will be starting P2 on the grid, the front row, which is pretty good. And as you can see, yeah, we'll be in the front row. We will be on the outside for turn 1, so we might get to have a good switch back. But obviously that slipstream on the Kemmel straight, especially on the lap 1, is very powerful. Maybe make an overtake into the comp for the lead. We'll have to wait and see. But this was a very weird glitch, and I think it was something to do with lag. You'll see what happens when the race starts. I put my clutch in, I put my throttle on. I don't release the clutch, I move tiny amount and it gives me a drive-through penalty. So I don't know what that was about, and I was really annoyed at this point because I've lost loads of positions as well. And look at that Ferrari and the McLaren just going on top of each other into turn 1, and surprise surprise, that's the safety car straight away. A bit like 2018 Belgium where Alonso flipped over Leclerc. But yeah, that was a bad start, a very bad start. You can see we're down in 6th place because of the having to stop and start again. And I thought, well, it's a safety car. I'm going to be last after I've served my drive-through anyway, so I may as well pit onto the medium. And one thing I discovered was there was going to be rain at the end of the race. So I kept asking Jeff, and he said 10 to 15 minutes the rain is expected. So we're going to come into the pit lane now. We're going to put on a set of a medium compound tyre, and this should take us to the end, but remember there's rain, so it's even almost double certain that we will get to the rain period with these mediums. Obviously we've still got to serve that drive-through, you can't do that under safety car. So we're going to come out of the pits now. We're going to come out in P5 because a few cars I think are double stacked there in the pit lane. And the safety car is going to be in this lap. So I'm going to come in and serve my drive-through. And that way we're going to lose less time because they're all slowing down for the line. And we're going to come in for our drive-through penalty and we're going to serve it. But I didn't realise that you can't serve drive-through penalties on the lap that the safety car is coming in. So you'll see now they just pit me for another set of mediums. Thankfully it was mediums and I didn't have to pit yet again. So I was a bit shocked at this point. I was like, oh, I'm just going to be up the back by 40 seconds, and I was after I had to serve my actual drive-through. So we're going to come out the pit lane and we're going to have to push on this lap, and I think we'll just get the drive-through over and done with in case there's a safety car. We've cleared it and we're not going to be in any difficulty with having to clear a drive-through under a safety car. So we're going to come into the pit lane now, and this time it does serve our drive-through penalty, thankfully. And I thought my race was done, but as you'll see it gets a lot better. But yeah, at this point we're at the back and the gap to P9 is 25.5 seconds, so it's not looking very hopeful. We did have the pace over our teammate. He's on the hards and you can see the gap is now 22.8, 19.5. Those are consecutive laps, so we are closing around 1.5 seconds each lap, which is very good. Obviously he's dropping back from the pack ahead into the middle points positions, but as we come up Radion and Al Rouge for the 8th time this race, we're going to see what awaits us on the Kemmel Straight, and it will be another safety car because my teammate crashed. And I'm just waiting for it to come up because I knew it was at this point. And yet, safety car deployed. And this is a gift for us. We're at the back anyway. We may as well pit onto those mediums we had beforehand in our first pit stop. They got less tyre wear. We're not going to lose any track position because we're at the back anyway. So we're coming through in the pit lane. And yeah, I thought this was our chance to get back in the race. Only 9 runners still after the early incidents, and only 11 started actually. So it was quite a quiet race, but that means there's good opportunities to get some good championship points following on from our P5 yesterday. So, not yesterday, sorry, last week. So we're coming out the pit lane and we're going to catch up to the train, and the safety car is in this lap. No drive-throughs, no penalties. No more pit stops required unless it starts to rain, and we're looking good to the end here. Big Black Diesel, the racing point ahead of us on the hards because he doesn't get that good traction. We're going to send it down the inside. I wasn't even alongside, but you know what? I've got to get through these slower cars, otherwise I'm not going to be making up any positions in this race. Felix ahead of us in the Williams, a very fast driver as well. That's why it's realistic performance and the cars have been given out in reverse championship order, so theoretically the fastest drivers will be in the slowest cars. And looking at the racing point behind it is not going to be close enough to make a challenge. Coming into Lecom, I seem to get that braking point pretty spot on most of the time. Coming through in the run towards the bus stop at the end of a lap. Big Black Diesel behind, who we were fighting, is retired, and that will cause another safety car. The third safety car in this race. It was turning out to be a really crazy race. Only 8 runners left, and same again, I'm at the back. Why not pit? And this time we're going to go into the softs, because I asked Jeff when's the rain. He said 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm pretty convinced you could get on to the end of the race on the softs from here without rain anyway, but there was going to be rain. So the softs were a good idea, and especially in the mixed conditions where it's raining but it's not quite time for inters yet, the slicks are still quicker. The softs are much more optimal than the mediums. And we jump ASN Walk in the pits as he has his wing changed. So this is a third safety car, we're only halfway through the race. But we're going to have a go at MJF and the Red Bull here on the restart. he goes into the pits actually. Yeah. So now there's about all the runners ahead of us. I think are our mediums, all 5 of them. We're checking Jeff for the weather report. Not clear what his answer is because he says only dry tyres are the fastest ones at the moment. He doesn't say when the rain's coming, so it's going to be a bit of guesswork as we try and get the run on Dragon. We're going to be far too far back here, but we're going to get some slipstream, and we've got lots of battery and lots of fuel, so will everyone else after being behind the safety car for 3 laps. But we're going to look at what Jeff says about the weather. You can see the rain has already come down. You can see the drops on the halo there, lap 13, and that's much earlier than I expected. So it says, Jeff says we are now in light rain conditions. You can see a little train forming ahead. You've got the Williams of some idiot leading the race, and that will be why. Dragon going a bit wayward there at No Name Corner. I'm just checking for penalties and what tyres are faster at the moment. Whoa, and as Xavi spins in the Renault, you can see I nearly lost it as well, trying to avoid it, and I got past Felix in the Williams. That was a hairy moment. And lap 13, Jeff gives me a new strategy call, so I'm going to come in for inters. Everyone else ahead of me stays out, and most behind me actually. It's only me and the Ferrari of ASN Walker that come in. And I've checked with Jeff, and he says slicks are still faster, even though he gave me the strategy change call. So we're coming in, and I want to try and make the most of this outlap. If inters are faster, then we're going to come out in a good position. You see, Pitt also came in for inters as well, our rival in the Red Bull from last race, and we're going to come out here and we're going to see what the grip levels are like. I think we'll know straight away if they're a good tyre or not. Obviously, it's just started raining, so they're not going to be the best they can be, but it seems like it's faster than the slicks at this point. So we're coming up Eau Rouge, a little bit hairy on there, but we managed to keep it. And yeah, Jeff's saying heavy rain is coming, and dries and inters are of the same pace at the moment, so that's good to be on inters because the rain's only going to get worse, and those on slicks are going to struggle. So we need to make the most of this outlap. Thinking about Pitt ahead, 3.3 seconds, maybe we can close in on him, and you'll find out later that we don't get to close in as much as we would like to. Keep checking the weather, and yeah, Jeff's saying we're right on the crossover point, so I think this was a good decision to pit, and we'll see when we come over the line to start the 15th lap where we will emerge once the others have pit. Yeah, it definitely looks, look at the track now, it's so wet, and it's got wet really quick. 2 laps ago it was really dry and the sun was shining, and now look at it, it's wet and gloomy and dark, and this is our opportunity really to get onto the podium with an undercut on these intermediates. I think we did pit on the right lap. That is our first track extending warning of the race. We've got to be careful not to pick up any more of those, because 2 more will result in a penalty. And the guys up front are pitting now, so we're going to see where we come out relative to them. Coming into the bus stop, and I brake far too late, and I've gone deep, and that's going to lose me time, maybe a position to the people in the pits. But we're going to come out now, and we're going to come across the line to start the 15th lap this time, and we're going to emerge in 2nd position. So it was the correct decision to pit on lap 14, not 15 like those guys did. And we've got some idiot behind us, 7 tenths, and this is 4 laps later. There's our 2nd track extending limit, a warning, sorry. But it's 4 laps later, and the grip levels have gone downhill. The inters are wearing really quick, and we're going to come up a Rouge, and we nearly lose it. And we've done very well to keep it on track. Obviously, some idiot passes us, so that's the least of our worries. We could have ended our race right there in that barrier where Palmer did in 2016. So we're looking at some idiot now. Maybe we can get him back, but he's in the Williams, and rain is the great equaliser in Formula 1 racing. So he's a much better driver than me, and he's going to pull away, as you see there on lap 22, the last lap of the race, coming through the last sector. it's been an okay final stint really. We were in P3, Dragon pressuring us a little. We had a few hairy moments as you saw up our Rouge, but it's going to be a good final stint, and that's what makes the difference, not making mistakes when you come under pressure. Despite the drive-through, we were last by 25.5 seconds, and we come to get our first podium this series. Brilliant race. I'm really happy with that. P3, starting P2, but we did get a silly penalty, the drive-through, and the pits, the drive-through not being served, and we have come P3. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, like if you're new, and goodbye.